Have you ever wondered how long it takes to max out a character? Well, wondered no longer, almost, basically. Sort of, I did a whole bunch of math to figure out how much resin it takes to max out a character. Now, there are a few things that you have to assume when we're going through this video. We have to assume that you have enough of these. I do not have a rate for these, so I did not even include them. So we're going to assume that in the process of grinding for this, you basically get these, right? We're just going to assume that. And we're only considering things that require resin. You do not have to consume resin to get these, so we're not going to count them. And also, you can do it while your resin is regenning. So if you're playing Genshin Impact 24/7, this shouldn't be a problem for you. I will also not be including the weapon because the weapon is not a part of the character. One more thing that you have to assume is that you have enough of the conversion material to make sure that you're able to convert all of these into the right, correct material. So now with all that taken out of the way, I think we're ready to start. So first thing you have to do, figure out how much you're gonna get from ley lines. What I did for this is basically I took the worst possible case scenario and then I put the best possible case scenario also. So for something like this, I counted basically the minimum red books and purple books that you get, and then I counted the maximum red books and purple books you could get. So that came out to 110,000 XP at the minimum and 135,000 at the XP at maximum. I used the wiki to find out that how much an XP a character needs. Some of these numbers are rounded up because obviously you can't just have half of an XP book. That's not how that works. So basically, when I looked it up, the wiki said I needed 8,362,650 XP to max out a character. All you have to do is divide that number by the minimum XP you get from doing said ley lines, and these ley lines are at 20 resin per time. So we get 77 and 62 times you have to do the ley line. So after finding out how many times you need to run these, then you need to multiply that by 20 resin, which is going to equate to 1,540 for 77 and then 1,240 for 62. Then we get into talent books. Talent books being the worst thing that Genshin has ever done. I don't understand. Also, artifacts aren't being counted because that would literally be an infinite amount of time. Nobody's maxing out their artifacts. So when looking up the talent books, I found out you can get a pretty bad domain run. You could get 2 green books, and that's it. So I used 2 green books as my entire worst one, bringing the worst highly above the best. Like, there's no competition. I'm pretty sure just from books alone, this makes it worse than the best, all right? Like, just from the book runs, like, if you took the final best number and took the book runs from the worst number, the best number would still be smaller. That's how insane this is. So, you only get 2 green books. What does that mean? Well, that means you have to do 4.5 runs, but you have to round it up to 5, and then you get an extra green book. Practicality just has to work that way. It'll even out. I hope you trust my math, all right? So basically, you get 4.5 green books, and then you have to multiply the blue books by 3. So you can get the conversion from the alchemy table to blue books, and that brings you up to 94.5 runs. I made a small error in the math, but it equals out the same. It's just 2 different numbers. I'll say it right in the video, but I do have the math at the bottom. I made an error in the math. It should be 94 for the blue books, but I typed 95 from the rest, and I subtracted 1 from 513, which shouldn't affect our number at all. So it's going to be slightly different in the description, but it is correct, all right? So basically, 94.5 runs. You get an extra green book from the first set of runs, so it should only be 94 runs. So the first green book run is 5 runs, and then you have 94 runs as your second run. However, nothing, and I mean nothing, beats the purple books. Not even, all of the runs combined from every single one. Like, if you went and took the best book runs, combined them, would still be lower than the amount of book runs you have to do to get purple books for this. So are you ready? Here we go. So first, what you need to do is multiply 114 by 3 in order to convert it to blue books. But then you also need to multiply it by 3 again in order to get it to green books. So I actually messed up here. First of all, it should be 3 here, not 2. I had it at 2, thinking, oh, cool. It'll be 2, right? That's what the thing purple book said. But I have to count in the extra green and blue books that I'm getting. So the blue books automatically turn this up to 3. But every 3 runs, we're getting 3 blue books, meaning we get 1 purple book. Now, I've sort of broken this up into this, basically. So we get 24 if we just count the blue books, right? But with every 3 runs, I had this at 24. So already this is the amount that we have. And basically I'm trying to figure out like what is the amount of runs that we need to do. It's a hard formula to figure out just off the top of my head. All we need to do for this formula is do 22 times, I believe, 3 and add 42 plus, not 52, 42 plus 8. So that gives us 116. But the problem lies when I do this. Basically, we are forced to do 22 runs. 22 runs is where we're supposed to be at. This plus 8 is with 24 runs, but if we do 22 here, it gives us 7, which, sure, add 7 there. We're only 1 book above. Basically, with the best, it's impossible for us to get exactly 114. I thought it wasn't, but basically, you're just in it to do 22 runs, which is better than the 36 that I originally had, which skews our results very, we'll see how much it skews my results. I'll have the correct numbers shown on screen, and also I will start to correct the actual document that I have. So the document obviously is going to be in the description, but let's get into, I guess, the next section of this video. Yeah, there's nothing beating that. That brings our resin total for the worst being 13,780 and the best being 2,380. Now we need to calculate the Mora cost. Now this is a fixed amount. You only earn 60,000 per, ley line you do. So this is how much you get. You get 60,000, not 61. It's just because I'm AR60. So you need 7,052,400 Mora to max out a character. That is the entirety amount that you need. I'm talking every single ascension here. All this required Mora, that's everything. We have everything. I'm talking even about the Mora right here. Right under here. This is all that Mora right there. Oh yeah, that is going up, man. 672,000. Yeah, that Mora right there. I'm talking about the Mora you need to level up your talents also. Yeah. So basically, every single bit of Mora that needs to be required for this character is only 7,052,400. I say only. It's a lot. Yeah. But that gives you 118 of these runs. So, that's not good, right? That's 2,360 resin. Not good. But since this is actually a fixed rate, there's no reason for there to be a best and worst here. That's just 2,360 added to both, which will leave us with 16,140 for the worst and 4,740 for the best. So originally, I forgot that you needed these. I completely forgot that you needed 46 of these. I completely forgot that you needed 46 of these. Not specifically the runic things, but just in general, every single character has something they need 46 of, which is this. It's always their secondary one. You get it from bosses. So at AR60, I'm getting 2 to 3 on every single one. So this brings back the best and worst competition, sorta. So the worst only is going to get 2, meaning they're going to have 23 runs, which is this time multiplied by 40. That hurts. Yeah. Which brings the worst run to 920 resin on this one. And then, for the best run, that is going to give us only 16 runs multiplied by 40, 640 resin. Adding both of those up, now the worst is at 17,060 resin, and the best is at 5,480. Now for the final bit before we get into the serious one, like I said, I'm going to trust that you have enough of the conversion material to just convert it, and we're going to assume that we're only getting 2 and 3 per run. So once again, we're going to do the same exact thing. But this time, there's a difference. I didn't really know what I was going to do with this, but I decided that I didn't really know what I was going to do, but I actually decided to have the treasure collection cost, the remaining opportunities this week, you have 3 of them. I decided to make the best one 30 and the worst one 60, which, realistically, maybe you would choose the 30, but let's just assume that the worst is literally the worst, right? That's what I basically was my thought process there. Let's just assume that, right? So we are at no resin reduction on the worst and 30 resin at the best. So here we are. That'll leave us with 9 runs because you need 18 of these to triple crown. And then that converts to 540 resin once you multiply it by 60. So then after that, we are able to, relax with only 180 resin with basically the same formula, divide by 3, it's 6 runs times 3, it's 180. That is a lot better. So that'll put our resin totals at 17,600 and 5,660. Yeah, there's a big disparity, but don't worry, because I decided that we should probably do an average, right? So I calculated the average. 11,630 is the average. So what does this mean? What does all of this mean, right? How is all of this coming together, right? How long does it take to max out a character? This is also assuming you're not getting any battle pass resin. Listen, there's a lot of ways you can get free resin, like weekly you get resin. I could calculate the weekly amount that you get resin, but I figured it's more fun to just realize how valuable Hoyoverse thinks a character is, right? So my triple crowned Ito is worth 97.77 repeating days. That's 3 months if you don't know. But let's say you're the luckiest man on earth. You can end up with only 31.44 days. So that's at least a month. Calculating the best luck possible, it is still a month. That's insane. And then you can probably guess that the average is 61.6111 repeating. I would like to be able to max out more than 6 characters a year. How many characters do we have in this game anymore? I don't know. But, hey, you can pull a character, farm for them a whole bunch, and you'll be able to max them out on the average. Within the last of the update, though. So, with the best luck possible, which I do think is around, given all the free resin that you're able to get, I do think that's around where it should be. Just not even the best, it's just the average. Just, it does cut it down a bit, but seriously, we need more. I'm not joking. We need better options, because I'm about to start summoning for 3 characters. This is gonna suck. I'm not gonna be able to max out any of them. Now, obviously, you don't have to crown every single character. You don't have to triple crown every single character. You don't have to get every character to level 90. But, seriously, why can we not max out our characters? It takes over a month on average. The best case scenario, it takes at least a month. Come on. Come on, man. And this is assuming, your resin is never capped out. And obviously, whales can do it faster if you buy resin, which is, whatever. That's up to you. I think whales could probably max out a character in 10 days if they're really, really lucky. I feel like. Yeah, it's now 3:56 a.m. So I'm gonna go to sleep. Make sure to subscribe if you did enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.